Welcome to Market Mastery for Small Businesses, the podcast that's here to help small service business owners and their marketing teams conquer the digital marketing world.
Welcome to Market Mastery for Small Businesses. I'm Tom Stevens, and today we're tackling accessibility in digital marketing, what it is, why it matters, and how to apply it without adding chaos to your week. Accessibility makes your website, ads, email, and social content usable by more people in more situations. I'll share practical steps, tools to test quickly, and ways to prove ROI so accessibility becomes a growth habit today. Accessibility matters because it serves neighbors, not just users. In every town, there are people with low vision, hearing loss, motor limitations, cognitive differences, and aging eyes and hands. There are also parents holding babies, techs wearing gloves, and commuters in bright sun. Removing barriers grows your audience, reduces frustration, and lowers support calls. It also builds trust and local reputation. When a business feels easier to use, it's remembered, recommended, and chosen, often by everyone, not only people with disabilities. That advantage compounds through reviews and word of mouth in your community. The business case is clear. Search engines reward accessible sites because they are structured, readable, and fast. Headings, alt text, and transcripts give Google more context, improving rankings and rich results. In Google Ads, mobile-friendly, accessible landing pages lift quality scores, lowering cost per click and improving position. Accessibility also boosts conversions. Better contrast, larger tap targets, and simpler forms help everyone complete tasks. Finally, legal risk is real. Addressing issues proactively costs less than reacting, and the same fixes enhance usability. Invest once, benefit across SEO, PPC referrals too. Accessibility means designing for diverse needs and contexts. Visual, support screen readers, provide useful alt text, ensure sufficient color contrast, and allow zoom without breaking layout. Auditory, offer captions and transcripts, don't rely on sound alone. Motor, full keyboard access, large tap targets, and forgiving timeouts. Cognitive, plain language, predictable layouts, clear instructions, and fewer distractions. Include temporary and situational impairments, broken arm, cracked screen, glare, slow bandwidth. Resilience in these conditions helps every visitor complete tasks. That reliability builds trust. The anchor is WCAG 2.2 level AA, the benchmark most organizations target. It's structured around 4 principles: perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. Meeting these addresses most real-world barriers. In the U.S., the ADA increasingly treats business websites as places of public accommodation, expecting reasonable accessibility efforts. Practically, aim for WCAG AA, document your process, and publish an accessibility statement. If you sell to government or education, requirements may be stricter, but the same guidance applies across sites, apps, and documents too. Start with quick wins. Write descriptive alt text for meaningful images. Mark decorative graphics as empty alt. Fix contrast to at least 4.5:1 for body text and 3:1 for large text. Set base font size to 16px or larger, with line height around 1.5. Use proper H1, H6 hierarchy. Don't fake headings with styled paragraphs. Replace "click here" with descriptive link text like "view pricing" or "download checklist." These changes aid comprehension, skimming, and screen reader navigation. Search engines benefit too. Ensure people can navigate and submit forms without a mouse. Every interactive element must be reachable and operable via keyboard alone. Add a clearly visible focus style so users can see where they are. Include a skip to main content link to bypass repeated menus. Set a logical tab order that follows the visual layout, and avoid trapping focus inside pop-ups unless the dialog is open and dismissible. For forms, give each input a persistent label tied with "for" and a D. Placeholders are not labels. Provide concise instructions and examples near relevant fields. Use input masks that guide but don't block common formats. Write specific error messages and announce them programmatically. Group related fields, offer accessible CAPTCHA alternatives, and allow for giving timeouts. Support save and resume where longer forms exist for customers. For media, caption every video and provide transcripts for audio. Include speaker names and key sound effects when relevant. Offer audio descriptions or integrate narration if visuals convey critical information. Keep background music lower than voiceovers or provide a version without music. Provide controls to pause or hide auto-playing animations. Semantically, use real HTML, not div soup. Landmarks like header, nav, main, and footer create predictable structure. Use lists for lists and buttons for actions. Reserve links for navigation. Only use ARIA to fill real gaps and never override native roles with incorrect values. Validate HTML, ensure unique page titles, and write descriptive meta descriptions. Clean markup reduces bugs dramatically. Design mobile first. Tap targets should be at least 44 by 44 pixels with generous spacing. Support pinch to zoom, don't disable viewport scaling. Test reflow by zooming to 400%. Content should stack without horizontal scrolling. Manage motion and parallax. Respect reduce motion preferences. For performance, optimize images, lazy load below the fold media, cut script bloat, and target core web vitals for speed and stability. Content clarity drives conversions. Write in plain language, use short sentences, and front-load key information. Break pages with descriptive subheadings, bullets, and white space. Keep terminology consistent across pages, proposals, and invoices. Use inclusive imagery that reflects your community. On social, caption reels, write alt text for images, and use camel case hashtags. Avoid color-only infographics, add labels, and maintain contrast. For email, build with semantic HTML. Ensure meaningful link text, larger tappable buttons, sufficient contrast, dark mode support, and include a plain text version. Test across iOS and Android, multiple screen sizes, and popular email clients. Confirm readability outdoors in bright sunlight conditions. In PPC, accessibility starts in the ad and finishes on the landing page. Write clear, readable copy. Avoid all caps and jargon. Use site links and callouts that make sense when read aloud. Ensure the landing page is operable via keyboard, has visible focus, strong contrast, and fast load times. This lifts quality scores and lowers cost per lead. For local SEO, add accessibility attributes in Google Business Profile, wheelchair accessible entrance, seating, or restrooms. Include parking details, elevator access, automatic doors, and curb cuts. Upload photos showing entrances, ramps, and signage. These details boost trust and increase calls from maps and directions requests. Prefer web pages over PDFs. They're easier on mobile, index better, and are simpler to update. If PDFs are necessary, export tagged PDFs with logical reading order, selectable text, bookmarks for long documents, and sufficient contrast. For booking widgets and chat, verify keyboard access, proper labels, and announcements for dynamic changes. Offer calendar views that work with arrow keys and text inputs for dates. Provide a pause button for typing indicators or animations. If a vendor's widget isn't accessible, push for fixes, document issues, or switch providers to protect conversions. Prioritize accessibility in procurement and include requirements in contracts from vendors. Bake accessibility into your testing workflow. Start with automated checks using Lighthouse, Axe, or Wave to catch low-hanging issues. Next, do a keyboard-only pass. Reach every control, see focus, operate menus, close dialogues, and submit forms. Then do a screen reader spot check, NVDA on Windows or VoiceOver on Mac and iOS to verify headings, landmarks, labels, and error announcements. Document findings with screenshots, URLs, and severity. Pair this with real user feedback. Recruit a few local testers with different needs, compensate them, and observe task completion. Their insights help prioritize fixes with the biggest impact and lowest effort first. Schedule retests after fixes and track regressions during site updates and releases too. Treat accessibility as a competitive advantage and a process. Audit competitors' sites and ads. Note missing captions, weak contrast, confusing forms, or inaccessible booking tools. Position your brand as the easier option. Show captions, publish transcripts, describe accessible entrances, and highlight clarity. Build governance. Create a checklist. Integrate standards into CMS templates and your design system, and train your team and vendors. Publish an accessibility statement with contact details and a commitment to continuous improvement. Use a simple 30, 60, 90-day roadmap. Days 0-30, ship quick wins, contrast, headings, alt text, link labels, focus styles, and a skip link. Days 31-60, tackle forms, media captions, mobile spacing, and key widgets. Days 61-90, address PDFs, complex components, deeper semantic cleanup. Measure ROI by baselining rankings, quality scores, cost per lead, speed, and conversion rates. Then report monthly on improvements tied to revenue. Share wins with screenshots, testimonials, and before and after metrics in meetings for alignment. Want to learn more? Visit the link in the episode description. That's our tour of accessibility in digital marketing for small service businesses. We covered why inclusion builds trust and reputation, the business case across SEO, PPC, and conversions, and what accessibility means for visual, auditory, motor, and cognitive needs. You now have practical quick wins: contrast, headings, alt text, and link labels, plus navigation and form essentials, media and semantic guidance, and a mobile-first mindset tied to core web vitals. We explored social and email tactics, PPC and local maps enhancements, and how to handle PDFs, booking widgets, and chat. You also have a testing workflow, a plan to gather real user feedback, and a 30, 60, 90-day roadmap backed by governance. Finally, you know how to measure ROI and communicate results. Make accessibility a habit, and your business becomes easier to find, easier to use, and easier to choose. I'm Tom Stevens. Thanks for listening.
And that concludes another insightful episode of Market Mastery for Small Businesses. We hope you enjoyed today's discussion and gained valuable knowledge to fuel your marketing success. Remember, the journey doesn't end here. Stay connected with us for more marketing wisdom and strategies. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. If you have any questions or want to dive deeper into any of the topics we covered today, visit our website at www.elevateroi.net. There, you'll find additional resources and ways to connect with our vibrant community of like-minded small business owners and marketers.